Jason, will you clean my desk after the show? I've been so busy. I just haven't had a chance to get to it. You're so quick and efficient.
Sure, of course, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Kylie, I have 2 shoots and need to pick up the dry cleaning, but I'll make time for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. I really want to say no, and I would probably say no to
You would
Kylie in this
absolutely say no to me.
I'm not going to clean your
problem.
desk. But if you ask me like to drive you somewhere or to do something that you probably couldn't do without help, I would try to make it happen. I would say yes, and we need to talk about this. In today's
you say yes a lot.
I do. In our relationship reboot, how to stop saying yes when you really want to say no. Our relationship guru, Dr. Kirsten Lynn Seal, is with us. Well, what do you think? That interaction plays out pretty often, doesn't it?
Wait, what?
I think it's pretty
Not just the 2 of us, yes. I mean, with all of you.
Yes, yes. I think we have an epidemic of people saying yes when they really want to say no, where people really sort of go above and beyond sort of their own priorities. And again, we're not talking about not being generous. We're talking about when we just continually say yes, when we not being able to basically set a boundary.
And there are certain types of people who I feel like maybe, and I feel like I'm one of them, I have a really hard time saying no, especially if they're a good friend. But you said that there are some signs, if you're one of those people, maybe you don't realize it.
Yes, yes. So I mean, one of the things is if you feel sort of overburdened and overwhelmed all the time, like you're always doing things, and you sort of wonder from time to time, why did I say that I would do this? If you're feeling resentful, and that's really the big relationship piece, is that when we say yes, when we really want to say no, we say yes, and then we become resentful, and we're like, yeah, that'd be fine. And then you
kind of let it
burn inside.
Exactly, and that's really not good for relationship.
Why do we do it? Why do Kylie and I, why do we say yes when really we know we need to preserve some time for ourselves, for our family, for sleep, whatever the case may be?
So I think there are 3 main reasons that we do this. The first one is that we want to please people. We want to be liked, and we want to make other people happy, So again, this stems from sort of a good place, a place of good intention. The other one is that we don't like conflict. Right? We don't want to disagree. We don't want to get into an argument. But the third one has this really interesting element, a little bit of grandiosity, a sort of like, I am very important, right? So when people ask me something, only I can do it. Right? Only I can fulfill this request.
They would be disappointed. It would be a disaster if I didn't say yes.
It would be a catastrophe. Oh, no.
I think the hardest time to say no is when, let's say, it's something that someone asks you to do, and you are free during that time. You technically could do it. But you have some really great responses. I was reading through these. I think that these could be really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So one is, thanks for thinking of me. I really wish I could.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Boom.
Right. Pause, breathe, wait for a response.
You don't need to go into an elaborate explanation.
No, and actually, usually when there's if you do an elaborate explanation, then you'll just get kind of caught in it, and people be like, oh no, well, I can take care of that part, right? Yeah. Second, I'd love to, but I'm already overcommitted.
Oh, okay. There you go, Jason. That's a good one.
Can't argue with that.
Exactly, and you're not saying I am not free that night.
Next.
You know what I mean? Next. Sorry, but I just can't help you right now.
Perfect. And succinct. Good. Next.
No thanks. I just can't manage it at this point.
Okay.
Right?
So one of these will work for whatever your communication style is.
Generally.
After that.
Absolutely. And then this one, unfortunately, it's just not something I can do right now.
Yeah. And I don't think I'm the right person to help with that.
I don't think I'm the right person to help with that.
Too.
All of these are very good. Like, they give you a way to definitively say no. There's no follow-up negotiation.
Right.
I have a question, and I know that this might be maybe geared toward people in their late 20s, early 30s, but a lot of times with weddings, you get asked to be in several of them. Is there a way to say no, or I'd love to, but I'm overcommitted and not offend someone?
Right. I mean, I think really just being honest, like you just said, to say, you know what, I would really love to, but I've already committed to 2 other weddings right now, and that's as much as I can manage. It's as much as I can afford, and I would love to. What else could I do? So that's another way of saying, could I throw you a shower? Could I, I mean, I know that
help
that's
in other ways.
Help in other ways. That's something, if someone's asked you to do like one big thing, but there's this small piece that you could do easily, that's a really nice way of sort of giving them something without taking on the whole ball of wax.
We are limited resources.
We are limited resources. Yep.
And you got to preserve it.
Absolutely. And we get to do that. And that's the important point here, I think, to remember.
This was great. Thank you.
You're welcome.